fire, air. Long ago, the four nations lived together in harmony. But one day, some guy named BC King decided to rank Avatar: The Last Airbender characters. And man, was the audience excited. At least I hope you were. But anyway, welcome guys to another tier list video. I am your host, BC King, and as I just said, we are ranking various characters from my favorite show of all time, Avatar: The Last Airbender. Now, we're not going to rank every single character because there's way too many to think of. So, this list just has the people that have some sort of, like, arc for one episode at the very least, or, like, are memorable enough to be on this list. So, I'm pretty excited for this. Hope you guys are as well, and, let's get started. Alright, so starting off this tier list, we have none other than the Avatar himself, Aang, the Last Airbender. Now, I'm gonna say he's probably an S, but probably the lowest S that'll be on this list, like maybe an S-, because I can think of at least 3 characters that are definitely above Aang for me on the S tier, but he's still an S tier. Just seeing his journey as, this random 12-year-old kid who was in the iceberg, and he didn't want to be the Avatar, so he tried to run from it, and now we see him mature into full-blown Avatar Aang by the end, and he gets all 4 elements, he masters all of them, and he saves the world. Spoiler alert, by the way. But yeah, just seeing him grow up and mature was such a fun journey, and he has a great character, and great humor, great personality, so definitely an S for Aang. Some might put him an A for Aang, but... I think he's an S for sure. Next up we have Appa. I think some might put him in S, but, I don't think he's quite there for S tier, but, I think the one episode that really sells Appa for me is, of course, Appa Alone, where you see what happened after Appa got kidnapped by the Sandbenders in Book 2. You see him, like, join a circus, and then he runs away and he meets Suki again, and they help him. Just that whole journey was really emotional and made me love Appa so much more, but not quite enough to make him an S tier, but he is for sure an A. A for Appa. Love this man. He's the reason why the Avatar gang can travel all over the world and save who they need to, so shout out to Appa, but not quite an S, but he's an A for sure. So yeah. Next up we have Azula. Oh man. Azula is like maybe one of my favorite villains of all time, just because of her character. Like, she's calm when she needs to be, and she's, like, she goes all out when she needs to as well. And then by the end, she's fucking insane. Like, seeing her be driven to madness in Book 3 was pretty damn cool to watch. And, she's a great villain. I love her. So, for me, you know what? She's probably not above... Actually, you know what? No. She is above Aang for me. Azula's definitely an S. Like... fantastic villain, fantastic final, like, fight with Zuko in Book 3. Just seeing her descent into madness was cool, like I said, and she's great. I love Azula, we all do, so, S for Azula. Next up, I can't remember who this guy is, I'm trying to think. Oh, who is this guy? I'm trying to remember. Let me get a closer look. God, I can't think. I know who he is, but I can't remember. You know what? Here's what we'll do. I'm gonna add a new tier. We're gonna say can't. Nope. No. What are you doing? Can't remember. We'll make that the great tier. I can't remember who he is. Like I'm trying to think. I don't remember. Like, oh, I'm brain farting. I am so sorry, you guys. Let me know in the comments if you guys know who this character is. I'm trying to remember. It's just, I can't memorize all of them. I think I brain farted, but, so yeah, sorry. We'll add that as like a bonus tier, so I can't remember him. I'm sorry, but, anyway, who I do remember is the cabbage guy. My cabbages! One of the most memeable characters from Avatar, for sure. But I gotta say, he's only in a couple episodes, and he has no real arc. So, I love him, but if I had to compare him to other characters on this list, he falls a bit low for me, unfortunately. So, I'll give him a C for Cabbage, but I can't put him higher than C. Because, again, he's only in a couple episodes, and he has no arc for himself. He's just there as like a joke character, so Cabbage Guy gets a C. Next up we have Sparky Boom Man, aka Combustion Man, who is the assassin that Zuko hired to hunt down the Avatar, I think, in Book 3. I think he might have been in Book 2, or probably... No, he was in Book 3. I think he's Book 3. But yeah, Zuko hires him to basically help capture Aang, and then by the end, Zuko prevents him from capturing Aang because he turns good, so, yeah, I kind of like Sparky Boom Man, but again, I think his character could have been a bit more, and I think he talks for a portion, right? I can't remember, but if I had to rank him, honestly, it'd probably be a C, because he's just not in enough episodes to really rank him higher. Like, the ones at S and A are, like, the ones who are in, like, every single episode, which you can probably guess by now, but, yeah, so, Sparky Boom Man is gonna get a C for me. Now, this guy is a sandbender. I think he's one of the people who capture Appa. He might be the leader, but I can't remember his name at all. He's probably a D. There is nothing about him I even like, really, now that I think about it. I don't know. Again, I think he is the leader of that group that captures Appa, which that's cool, but, like, that's probably all we see of him, right? It's just that one episode or that one portion, so there's really nothing to rank for this guy, I think, right? So, probably a D for this Sandbender guy. Monkey Yatso. So, this is the guy that basically is Aang's not really father, but kind of father figure before Aang becomes the Avatar. And then he obviously dies during the Air Nomad genocide, and then Aang finds his dead corpse, or his, like, skeleton corpse, and he, like, goes insane because of it. But yeah, I think Monkey Yatso is a fine guy, but he's not really one that I would say has a whole lot of character. I think the live-action show actually does a better job of giving him a better character than this one does, which I know some might disagree with me, but I think episode 1 of the live-action really helps to flesh out Gyatso's character a lot more. So, as far as the original show, though, probably a C-. Could have been a bit more relevant, but it is what it is. He died before the series even began, to be fair, so there's not a lot I can really rank him on besides what's seen in the flashback, so that is that. Okay, so this guy is Sokka's father, or Sokka and Katara's father, but I can't remember his name, but I know who he is. He's a cool guy. I mean, he helps Sokka during the one episode, and he goes missing for a huge portion of the show, right? And then they finally find him, and then by the end, he's, like, helping with the war. But yeah, I think he's like Gyatso, to where he doesn't have a good enough character to rank him higher, but I would say, personally, he's probably a high C+ for me. Because he's in more episodes than Combustion Man and Cabbage Man and Gyatso, obviously. So I think that gives him more time to flesh his character out, and, you know, we see more of his interaction with his family, and obviously Sokka and Katara, because they're his children. So, he's a cool guy, but I would not put him higher than C, honestly. So, we'll put him at C. Hama, the bloodbending chick. Oh, man. This chick is pretty mean, but in a good way. Katara learns to bloodbend because of this chick, and I think she was the first bloodbender, right? I might be wrong about that, but I think she invented bloodbending. So, she's a pretty scary chick, and that episode is pretty terrifying. So, this might be controversial, but even though she's only in one episode, I think the way they showed her character off was really, really great. And again, Katara learned a whole new way to fight because of this chick. So Katara ended up using that bloodbending to take out, or go after the guy that killed her mother. So honestly, again, maybe controversial, but I'll put her at B. Even though Sokka and Katara's father appears more than she does, I think her character alone is better than their father, and again, she knows a whole type of new bending. Like, that's such a cool thing, right? Like, again, I think she was the first bloodbender, so that alone kind of puts her up above the others, right? So, we'll give a B for Hama. Okay, this guy, I know who he is. I can't remember his name. I think it's Haru. he is the guy who, him and his dad are in prison, and the Katara saves them. And then they reappear in book 3, right before the war begins. And then he's now grown like a full-on mustache and beard and whatnot. So I would say Haru, based on the prison episode alone, is probably a low B. I think seeing his determination of wanting to get out, or no, I think he didn't want to originally, and then Katara convinced him that, oh, you know what, like, it's worth getting out and trying to fight the Fire Nation, so, yeah, and then seeing him come back was kind of cool, so, and, yeah, I think I should have rewatched Avatar a bit before I, did this list, but based on what I remember from his time in the episode, or in the show, then, he'd probably be a low B- for me, so we'll give Haru a B-. Pretty great Earthbender, good character, but, yeah, B-. Alright, here we go. Everyone's favorite uncle, Uncle Iroh. If you rank this guy anything lower than an S, you don't love this show. That's all I'm gonna say. Or you haven't seen it, obviously, because Uncle Iroh is one of the greatest father figure characters that you can ever see in any show. Zuko would probably not be where he is right now without Iroh there to, like, help him find his way. So, for me, Iroh is an easy S+, above Azula. He has taken the crown so far. We'll see if he keeps it, but easy S for Iroh. He is, like, the best uncle of all time. So, yeah. John. Now, this guy is the guy that Aang originally learned firebending from before book 3, and he burned Katara accidentally because of it. And then he reappears as part of the White Lotus, obviously, in book 3. But, I think John's a cool character, and again, we get to see him, like, teach Aang firebending a little bit, but I don't think he's that well fleshed out compared to other people in this list. So, I think he's with Sokka's character in C, but probably like a C+. I think his character is cool, but again, it's just, like I said, the people at the top of the list are in, like, every episode, compared to these guys who are in, like, maybe just a couple and don't have a good enough fleshed out character to put them, like, higher, you know what I mean? So, for me, John's a solid C. He's a good character, but, not quite with the, higher-ups. Now we got Jet. People do not like Jet, and I'm not gonna lie, I don't either. I think Jet's cool, but he's an asshole. Like, he used Micro Katara, and, like, he's so freaking manipulative, man. Like, he's an a-hole. So, you know what? He's going in D. You know what? No, I can't put him there. He's gotta be a C at least. I would say Jet's probably a C+, maybe just above, John and Sokka, Katara's father. Because, yeah, he does reappear in Book 2 with Zuko, and then he dies, right? Because, he gets, the Dai Li brainwashed him, and then Aang has to kill him because of it. Or, yeah, he has to fight him, and then he dies because of it. So, yeah, Jet's an a-hole, but he's still a C, so there you go. I just don't like Jet, personally. And then, I forgot her name, but she's Zuko's date in Book 2. So, it was Zuko's first kiss before May, too, right? I think she's fine, but she's in one episode, and that's it. So, I might put her in D just because of that. She's cute, and she's nice. I mean, she did help Zuko kinda be a good guy for once, for that one portion of the episode. But again, I can't really rank her higher when she's only in that one episode, you know what I mean? So, sorry guys, giving this chick a D. Not in that way. But yeah, alright, so Judy, right? That's her name, Judy. There is no war in Ba Sing Se. I like her. She's a cool character. I think seeing her face keep one expression is pretty cool and really helps elevate the character more. So she's probably a C for me. And honestly, maybe a hot take, probably just below Jet in high C, in like a high C tier. I just think, again, her character really shines because of her being like an emotionless woman that just says the same thing over and over again. There is no war in Ba Sing Se, and then, you know, because there's more than one Judy, right? So they're all brainwashed. So she's cool. So I'll give her a C. June. Now this chick is the one that rides on the one thing that can like snip out scents and whatnot, and then she kind of has a thing for Iroh, or I think Iroh's a thing for her. This chick's pretty cool. She's really badass. So she's a B for me personally. Probably above Haru. I just think she's a cool, badass chick. And again, her demeanor's pretty cool, and her getting to ride that thing that can snip out people, like the Avatar, for example, that's pretty cool, you know? So, badass chicks get a high B for me, so we'll give her that. Alright. If you guys have not heard me talk about the show, then you don't know where I'm gonna put this chick, but, if you do know, then you know. Katara is my girl. She always has been from episode 1. I love Katara. Always have, always will. That is an easy S for me. But, it's really close between Iroh and Katara for the top tier right now, or for the top slot in S tier. I gotta say, I think Iroh still holds the crown for right now. I think he does. Katara is a badass. I love her character. Her evolution is great to see pan out. And, she's hot. Like, she's a hot waterbending chick. What else can I say? So, I just love her to death. I think we all do. So, Katara's an easy S for me, but not quite toppling, Iroh for me. Alright, we got King Boomy from, Book 1. That's Aang's childhood friend, who is now the king of the Earth Kingdom. This guy's great. I love Boomy. B for Boomy, all the way. You know what? Honestly, probably above, Hama. Might be a hot take, I don't know, but... just Boomy's character and the way he's just like this jokeful, happy-go-lucky, crazy old man who is also a powerful king when he needs to be. And his fight against Aang was pretty cool too, where he used the crystals to trap his friends, and then he used his full-on earthbending against him. And then Aang finds out by the end that, oh wait, that's my friend Boomy from 100 years ago, and now he's the king. Like, what the hell? And that was crazy. So Boomy for me is a B. I love Boomy. We all do. Alright, now we have the Earth King from, Book 2. I think he takes over for Boomy because Boomy goes to join the White Lotus, or I think something happens. I don't remember, but he's the Earth King by Book 2. We'll say that. So, it's at the end of the season, too, like when the whole Ba Sing Se invasion by Azula happens. This guy's cool, but, I don't know. He kind of just doesn't really vibe for me that much, so he's probably a low C tier. I would say probably between John and Combustion Man. Now granted, he does eventually throw the Daily Leader into jail because he finds out about it, but other than that, I don't know. I think he could have been a bit more than what he was, but he's not a bad character. It just could have been more. So we'll put him in C. I'll put him there. Alright, we got Avatar Kyoshi. Oh, one of my favorite past avatars. Kyoshi's a badass. Like Katara. Kyoshi's great. She's only in the flashbacks because she's dead by this point. But what we see of her is great. Like, especially during the whole, like, Aang accusation scene where he's gonna be put on trial. Like, seeing her come out and just wreak havoc, and then seeing her in the flashback when she destroyed that one place, it's great. Great stuff. So you know what? Hot take, A for Kyoshi. I will say that right now. I think her character is... she's badass, alright? Like, I can't really say any more than that. She's a badass. Those scenes with her are great, and she's one of my favorite past avatars before Aang, so... yeah. Great action scenes, great character, so A for Kyoshi. Alright, so now we have the Daily Leader. This guy is an asshole in a good way. Like, he is a really cool, just despicable villain that you can easily hate. He gets caught by the Earth King by the end. I like this guy. This guy's a really cool villain, so probably a B for me. Probably below June for me personally, but I still like this guy a lot. The way he convinces Jet to, you know, betray Aang and them, or I guess fight Aang and them, was pretty cool to watch. So yeah, he's one of those guys where you look at him, and he's just so easily hateable because of how his character is. You know what I mean? So, yeah, solid B for me. Alright, so this is Longshot. He is one of Jet's freedom fighters. He's the bow guy, right? And I think he talks too, like, very, very minorly, though. So, I like Longshot, but I wish he talked more, because he's kind of a cool character. But because of that, I think he's gonna go in C tier. Probably with Cabbage Man and all them. So, yeah, I like Longshot. Again, he does talk, I think, in Book 2, not Book 1. But he's cool. He's a cool kid, so we'll give him a C. Alright, next up we have May, which is, Zuko's girlfriend by Book 3, and she is basically the emo chick, as we all call her, because she shows little emotion. She fights good, though. She can fight pretty good. It's just her emotions are kind of just, So, but yeah, I like May. I think May's an easy B tier. I think by the end, when she turns good, she's even a better character than was in Book 1 and 2. But, she's not quite A for me. We'll get to some A tiers later on, but, I think May's probably a solid B for me. Probably above June, too. Or, you know what? Yeah, put her above Hama, too. I think in Book 3, when she turns on or no, was it yeah, no, it's Book 3. When her and Ty Lee, betray Azula and then end up being good by the end, it's pretty cool to see, so. And I don't know, I kind of like her emotionless faces that she has going on, where she's just not showing much emotion, and she's just this kind of downer character, but in a good way, so. I'll give May a B. Alright, so, forgot his name, but he is the scientist that developed the war balloons, I think? And then he has a kid who we'll get to later in the list. But he appears, I think, in Book 1, in, I think, Omashu? So, yeah, he invents the war balloons, and then his kid sees Aang, the Airbender, and he's like, oh, the Airbenders are alive, and then yada yada yada. But yeah, I don't memorize a whole lot about this guy, but, I don't know. I mean, inventing the war balloons is cool, but as far as his character, and I think he betrays them at some point, right? Because in the live action, he gives information to the Fire Nation, but I don't remember if that's from the actual original cartoon. I'm pretty sure it is. But as far as, like, how memorable he is, he's probably a low C for me, but probably the lowest on C tier, I would say, for me personally. So, he's just an okay character for me. Oh, Momo's an A. That's an easy A. Like, if you hate Momo, then we can't be friends. Like, we all love Momo. Momo's great. Him and Appa are both easy A tier. Like, the scene with Momo talking with Appa in Aang's vision, where they're, like, fighting each other, it was so funny. And he's just a good companion pet for Aang. Like, he can fly around, he's a flying lemur, he has a great personality, so you can't not love Momo, man. Like, if you do, then you're a sick person, but A for Momo, easily. Alright, Fire Lord Ozai, the main villain of the series, the Fire Lord. He is the guy who Aang has to beat before the comet comes, or else the world's gonna end. He's great. I love Ozai. Probably another easy A tier, and I'm not gonna lie, probably an A+. He's not in the series a whole lot before Book 3, I think, but when you see him and Zuko talk it out, and then you see Zuko, redirect his lightning, what a great scene. And then his fight with Aang is, like, obviously iconic. Oh, and he's voiced by Mark Hamill. You know, the guy who plays frickin' Luke Skywalker in Star Wars? That's Ozai. He voices him. I did not know until I'd watched the show, or until after I watched the show, all the way through, but yeah, great. Mark Hamill was great as Ozai, so, yeah, great villain, great firebending scenes, great scene with Zuko in Book 3. He is a fantastic villain. Love Ozai. Easy A tier. Master Paku. So this is from Book 1. He is the guy who, Katara wants to teach her waterbending, but, in the Northern Water Tribe, they don't fight, or women don't fight, so he refuses to teach her, and then he ends up fighting, Katara because of it, and he wins, but kinda just barely, because, you know, he used the ice against Katara. Also, he's their grand's husband by the end, so they get married, and that's pretty cool. But Paku for me is probably another, like, solid C. A lot of these are in C, I think, because their characters aren't in enough episodes to really flesh them out a bit more. But Paku's probably a high C, I would say. Because, again, his fight with Katara was pretty cool to watch. So, I would say Paku and John are kind of neck and neck for, like, the mid-C tier. I think Paku's probably just a tad bit better, but not by much. So, we'll put him there. Alright, so this guy is the swordsman that teaches Sokka how to use the space sword, right, or whatever he calls it. He's only in that one— oh, no. Isn't he part of the White Lotus? He is. Okay, so, I think the way he teaches Sokka sword fighting was cool because he makes Sokka paint and then other weird stuff. But because of that, Sokka can use the sword pretty good, so, pretty good teacher, right? So, he's probably a high C for me. But probably not, I don't know, I think he's on par with John and Paku, but I think because of the way he teaches Sokka how to use the sword with these weird methods, that's pretty dope. So, yeah, we'll give him a mid to high C for the sword, for the sword guy, whose name I can't remember. Oh my god, I can't remember his name, but I know who he is. He's one of Jet's freedom fighters. I'm having a brain fart. But, he's the fat kid, right? Pipsqueak, that's his name. His name's Pipsqueak. He's alright. I think him and One-Shot are probably neck and neck. I think One-Shot's the cooler character. But, yeah, I mean, he's alright. I wish I watched the show again before I did this tier list. I made a mistake, but based on what my brain can remember from the show right now, he's probably a mid to low C for me. Fire Lord Sozin. Ooh, or no, not Sozin. Roku. Sorry. So he's the Avatar before Aang is born, right? So he's Aang's predecessor. The whole scene with him and Sozin and why that whole war started was pretty cool to witness, and his dragon's pretty cool too. So for me, Sozin's probably a B. As far as where, probably, I would say about right here, honestly. Because, again, the whole scene with him and Sozin, where we see, like, how the 100-Year War began, that was a pretty dope scene to watch. And we see how Sozin betrays, Roku, and then we see Roku's scenes with Aang, where he helps him. So, he's a very cool helping character, but he's a solid B. So, yeah. Alright. Now, this guy, I for sure do not remember his name, but he's another one of the freedom fighters. He's the short one. I forgot his name. I know Pipsqueak and One-Shot, but I forgot this guy's name. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie. They're all the same, really. Like, I would say the fat one's probably the least interesting. Pipsqueak is the least interesting. The short one is probably just mid-interesting, and then One-Shot's probably the most interesting of all three of them. So, yeah. Alright, my guy, Sokka. I might get some hate for this. You guys would probably put him in A or in S. I don't know if he's quite there for me. I'm having a debate here with myself. I think Sokka's for sure an A tier, but I don't know if he's an S. I don't know. I think him being the non-bender in the group makes him less helpful than the other ones are. But he's still a cool character. I mean, I'm not trying to say he's a bad character. It's just, I don't think what he can do can put him in S. You know? And again, I love Sokka. I love Sokka to death. But I don't think he's S tier for me. I think he's at most A tier. But he's for sure an A+. I think he's above Ozai for me. I just don't think he's an S. So, if you hate me, I'm sorry, but I just don't think he has enough about him to catapult him into the high ups with S tier. So, but yeah, I still love Sokka. His character's great. His evolution's great. He matures by the end. He dates Suki. So, Space Sword. So, yeah. Oh yeah, and the Cactus Juice is an iconic episode, so yeah. Alright, Fire Lord Sozin. We only see him in that one episode, right? Where he betrays Roku. I think his evil character by the end was really cool to see break down. Because him and Roku are pretty much friends, and then once he becomes the Fire Lord, he, you know, has this new motive to start a war to put the Fire Nation as the most powerful nation of all time. And then him and Roku kind of fall apart because of that, and then Roku ends up dying because Sozin betrays him, because Roku and his dragon are caught in the volcano and they can't get out, so... Yeah, but Sozin for me is probably a low B. Again, it's just, he's only in that one scene, so I can't really judge him that much, but based on that one episode alone, where he betrays Roku, pretty dastardly villain. And again, the war started because of him, so he has some, you know, big significance for this whole entire series. Like, the whole war is Sozin's doing. So, he's a low B for me, I would say. Alright, my girl Suki, that's an easy A, right up there with Sokka. Suki is another badass girl who I love to death. She is a Kyoshi warrior. She meets Sokka in the first, like, couple episodes, and they kind of have a whole thing going on. But they don't really capitalize on it until book 2, because by the end of book 1, Sokka is kissing Yue, the moon girl, and in book 2, Suki comes back, and then her and Sokka end up dating, and then they go from there, and it's a great couple, so. But yeah, seeing her fight was cool, too. Like, the whole boiling rock escape scene where she jumps over the prisoners and then she, you know, captures the warden. What a cool scene. Like, she is such a fluid, badass Kyoshi warrior. Love her to death. So, Suki is an easy A for me. A+, honestly. Alright, so this guy is the son of, the guy right here in low C tier who has the beard and the weird hair. So he's this guy's son. And he sees Aang flying, and he's like, oh, the Airbenders are back, yay! And it's like, oh, he's the last one. So, I do love his little flying car that he has. And seeing him and Aang fly around was kind of cool, too. But I think he's with the scientists and not having that big of a character overall. I think he is better than these guys, though. I would say he's probably maybe above the Freedom Fighters for me, but not really higher than that. So... You know what? Since we have a lot of in C tier, we're going to move some up a bit. So we're going to move Jet to B, low B. We're going to move, I think, Ju D to low B. And we'll keep these guys in C. So yeah. Oh, the boulder! The boulder is going to kick your ass if you don't like, comment, and subscribe on this video right now as you're watching it. I love the Boulder, man. He's cool. That's a B. B for Boulder. You, like... His whole presentation is so funny and so cool, and I love it. Like, you can't not love it, so... The Boulder! So, yeah. Probably a little B for me for the Boulder. Actually, you know what? No. I take that back. That's a C. That's a C. Again, it's a one-and-done episode character, so he's got to be a bit low because of that. I'd put him right here, maybe below, Combustion Man. Oh, this guy, there's one more Freedom Fighter, I forgot this guy's name! Oh, wait, hold on. Oh my god, hold on. Brain fart again, brain fart. I don't remember this guy enough. Oh, shoot. Okay, you know what? He's gotta go here. I'm sorry. I can't remember him. Like, I know he's a freedom fighter. I know he is. But I can't remember his name or what he does. And that sucks. So, I'm sorry. Can't remember. Again, let me know in the comments who he is and what he does, and I'll feel stupid. So, there you go. Alright, we got Toph. Another easy S. Like, if you hate Toph, you're not human. That's all I'm gonna say. Everyone and their mother and their grandmother and their grandmother's mother loves Toph to death. The Blind Bandit, all the way, love Toph, above Azula. You know what? I think Toph is a better person than Katara. And I love Katara to death, you guys know this, but Toph is just... She's great. Like, just every scene she's in, she steals. Pretty much. Like, whether it's being serious, or being jokeful, or showing off her blindness, or earthbending. Like, she kills every scene she's in. And then by the end, she's, yeah, like, it's enough said. Tops and S tier. Moving on. Ty Lee. Oh, I love Ty Lee. I love her and May, honestly. Ty Lee and May are probably neck and neck for B tier, I would say. I love Ty Lee. Ty Lee's great. So this chick can basically, do what's called chi blocking, where she can, like, rapidly punch people's, like, limbs and then make them go limp. Because, like, she's blocking their chi or something. So, yeah, and Tylee's just a very innocent, cute girl. Like, she's not really that much of a villain. Like, yeah, she does help Azula for a bit, but then by the end, she's on the good side. She's a Kyoshi warrior by the end. Remember that? Suki and her team recruit her for the Kyoshi warriors, and she'll teach them chi blocking lessons? Like, what? I love Ty Lee. Easy B. Or high B+. You know what? I would say Ty Lee and May are probably above Boomy now that I think about it. But we'll keep it right there. So, yeah. Alright, so Zuko's mom. Here's the thing. I haven't read the comics yet. I know what happens to her because I got spoiled on it from some people. But as far as this show, we only see her in flashbacks and not that much. So I gotta say, she's probably in D tier just for that reason alone. But she's not a bad character. It's just if we have to rank her based on the other people in this show, she's only in the flashbacks, and you know, there's not enough of her to really judge her on a higher level. So, sorry guys, I gotta put her in D tier, but I still like Zuko's mom. I know what happens to her, and it's great, and it's fun to figure out, but, yeah, as far as this show, just the original cartoon, not the comics, not anything past that, it's gotta be a D tier for Zuko's mom, so, sorry about that. Alright, I think his name is Wu Shitan, right? He's the owl at the library when they go there to get the information for the war, or for the solar eclipse, right? This guy's cool. I mean, his voice is kind of sexy, not gonna lie. Sorry I said that. But, I do think that, he's only in that one episode too, right? Just the library. So, because of that, he's probably going to be in a C tier, but I do think his voice and his demeanor and, him being kind of a villain by the end when he's chasing the Gain out of the library, it's pretty cool. So, I would say I'd put him probably right, probably here, honestly. Just below these guys that help the Gain out, but, yeah, right there, in a, like, mid to high C tier for, the owl. Okay, I think this next guy, was in the episode where Toph was first introduced, and he was, like, trying to kidnap her, and she learns metal bending because of that, right? I think he's the leader of the group that's trying to kidnap her. I don't remember his name, though. But, I would say he's probably a C. Well, maybe a D, honestly. No, he's an okay character, but he's not the best villain here. Like, I think every other villain that we've seen so far is a lot better than this guy, for me personally. So yeah, probably a low C for this guy. He's alright. Not a lot to say about him. Alright, Princess Yue from the Northern Water Tribe. So she is a chick that, becomes the moon, when the fish dies, and then she has to give her life force to it, and then that spawned the whole "that's rough, buddy" when Zuko says that to Sokka. Sorry, I'm stuttering, but yeah, I think Princess Yue is a cool character, and she's a cool princess, but I don't know. She's only in that one episode, right, or the last two, I think, like during the whole Northern Water Tribe invasion by the Fire Nation. She's cute and she's cool, but I mean, I don't know. I think he's probably at most a low B for me, but I don't know. Maybe a C, honestly. I think Yue has a bit more she could have, like, had to her character, but I mean, her and Sokka were kind of endgame for a bit until, you know, she died and then he became Suki's boyfriend. So, yeah, I think Yue's cool, but it's just, I don't know, I I wish there was more to her than what we got, but what we got was pretty good, so I'll give it that. But it's probably a high C+ for me. Alright, this guy, I don't remember him. I think he's in book 2. I'm trying to think right now, and I can't think of it, so I apologize. So, again, if you guys know who I'm missing here in the can't remember category, then let me know in the comments, and I'll feel like a dumbass for not knowing these guys are my favorite show of all time. Like, I'm a big fan, apparently. I know. Alright, Commander Zhao. He's a really solid villain. I gotta say. He is a really solid villain. Him killing the Moon Spirit was pretty cool to watch. Not in, like, a happy way, but, like, a sad way. His fight against Zuko was pretty cool. And then he does reappear in The Legend of Korra in the Spirit World, but we're not talking about that here. But, yeah, he's a solid villain, I think. So, honestly, he's probably a B tier for me. He is a B tier villain. He's pretty good. I would say he's probably, above Hama, just based on him being in more episodes. But, you know what? He's probably above Boomy, too. He's above Boomy. He's a good villain. I like this guy. Some might hate him, but I like him. So, there we go. Alright, final character. If you guys don't know already, I will tell you now. Sorry, Iroh, I love you to death, but Zuko is my favorite character from the show. Far and away. I love Katara, I love Toph, I love Azula, I love Aang, I love Iroh, I love Sokka and Suki, but if I had to name one character who, like, is my absolute undisputed favorite from the entire show, it's gotta be Zuko. He has the best redemption arc I've ever seen, because he starts off the series as the main villain, pretty much. And then by the end, he's the new Fire Lord, and he's, like, friends with Aang now. Like, seeing his journey to full-blown villain to, you know, downing his father to the Fire Nation to him being good, and then his whole fight against Azula. Like, what a journey, man. Zuko easy S+ all the way. Like, one of the best arcs of any character in any show ever. Very few can top it, but yeah, Zuko is far and away my favorite character in Avatar: The Last Airbender. And, let me move real quick. There we go. Oh, nope. Wait. Alright. And there you go. That is my tier list. Alright, well, that was, kinda hard, but, anyway, there you go. That is my Avatar: The Last Airbender character tier list. Again, not every character is here, but just the ones that I think do deserve to be on here because they had some sort of, like, big role in either one episode or, like, the entire series. But, yeah, sorry again for the 3 in this category right here that I can't remember, but, again, let me know in the comments who I missed, and, I'll feel dumb when I look them up later, and I'll be mad at myself. But, yeah, so, let me know in the comments, too. What should I make tier lists on in the future? Should I do, like, maybe a SpongeBob tier list, or a Star Wars tier list? Let me know in the comments, and I'll see what I can do. But, until then, I will see you guys next time, and, yeah, bye!